Hi, I'm Cathy Carpenter, the Stenograph representative for Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to learn how to use your new Luminex II. This short training video will go over the exterior hardware features for your new machine. The agenda for this video is listed here. We will be reviewing the components found on the back and the front of your machine, as well as how to tilt your new Luminex II. First, let's start with the back of your machine. On the far left, you will see the data SD card slot. This SD card holds your steno notes, timestamps, high-quality audio files, and JDA files. The machine will let you know when the data card is getting full, so you can reformat the card or replace it with a new card. The SD cards you can use are high-capacity SD cards that range in size from 4 GB up to 32 GB. We recommend using Kingston or SanDisk brands, something high quality. We tell our users to avoid the PNY brand. We have seen consistent failure with their cards. One other thing that I also recommend is to turn off your machine before removing your SD cards. Next to the data SD slot is a USB port. This is used for copying your job and the associated audio to a thumb drive. I show you specifically how to do this in the video for the startup screen and setup. To the right of the USB port is the reset button. You can press this button with a ballpoint pen if it feels like your Luminex is being unresponsive or you can't get it to turn on or off. This will force it to reboot. Don't worry, any writing on your screen will have already been saved. In the middle is the USB-C port that is used to connect your machine to your computer for real time. Or if your CAT software supports it, you can read files off of your machine to your computer through the same cable. The USB-C end goes into this port on your Luminex II, and the other end plugs into the standard USB port on your computer. By the way, the real-time cable will charge your Luminex II, but the charging doesn't start until the machine battery gets low. We don't want to drain the battery on your computer until your machine really needs the power. Also, plugging the real-time cable into your machine when the USB end is plugged into a computer that is powered on will turn on your Luminex II. I also recommend you order a backup real-time cable from Amazon. The cable I recommend is the Anker cable, A-N-K-E-R. It needs to be the USB-C cable and make sure it is 6 feet long. They do have different lengths. Just to the right of your real-time connection is your backup SD card slot. This is for steno notes, timestamps, and low-quality audio. The backup SD card is a micro SD card and it must be formatted in the machine. The backup card is required for the machine to operate. We recommend that you carry backup SD cards with you, just in case your data card gets full or in the rare event that an SD card becomes unstable. I recommend getting a Kingston or SanDisk 32 GB micro SD card for your backup. The backup SD card will overwrite the oldest job when it is full, and the larger 32 GB micro SD card will give you a large amount of backup. Next to the backup SD slot is your microphone jack and headset jack. The Luminex II comes with a built-in sound card, but you do need a microphone plugged in and audio turned on to take advantage of the audio on the machine. When you use a headset in conjunction with the microphone on your machine, you can have the machine amplify the testimony when you have a soft-spoken witness, or you can verify testimony before doing your readback. You can scroll up on your machine screen and press play to listen to the testimony through your headset. No one can hear it but you. You can also use the 6-foot audio cable that comes with the microphone to position the microphone closer to the witness. I like to place a microphone in front of the judge so I can listen to bench conferences through my headphones. The machine audio makes a good backup audio source. We also want to take a moment to point out the L-shaped microphone that ships with your new machine. Some people miss it in the packaging. It's in a small pink plastic bag. Plug this into the microphone slot in the back of your machine. You will also need to turn on the audio and make adjustments to the audio levels before taking your first job. You can leave the microphone in your machine when you pack up after each job. As I mentioned in the previous slide, it does come with a 6-foot audio extension cord that was included in your accessories. We will cover turning on your audio in the setting up your machine video. Lastly, on the far right side is the AC adapter charger socket. The battery is a high-capacity battery, and you should get 10 to 12 hours of battery life. The life of the battery is dependent upon certain things like recording audio and using the wireless capabilities. When using the charger, the battery will be fully charged in 5 to 6 hours. It's a lithium-ion battery, so you don't have to worry about any kind of battery maintenance, and you can leave it plugged in all the time without harming the battery. When you plug in the charger, the writer will turn on if it's not already powered up. Now let's take a look at the front of your new Luminex. You will see knobs located on the left and the right side of your machine. We will start with the knob on the left. This knob controls the depth of stroke and allows you to set how shallow or deep your stroke will be. When you turn it away from you, the keys raise, which means your depth of stroke is deeper. When you turn the knob towards you, the keys will lower, which means your depth of stroke will be shorter. If you are coming off of an older machine, you may want to increase your depth of stroke just a little bit while you get used to the feel of your new Luminex II. I recommend that users coming off of older machines start at about 5. There are numbers on the side of the wheels. I want you to start with a depth of stroke that is comfortable. Then I recommend you write at that depth for about 60 days. After 60 days, try turning the knob one click toward you. Write on that for another 60 days, and then turn it toward you again. Keep doing this until you move to a shorter stroke. If your untranslated rate increases with the shorter stroke, just turn it back up a notch. We don't all write the same, and not everyone can write on the shortest stroke. If you aren't writing as cleanly as you like, please call support. This machine has a lot of adjustments that we can make to help you write cleaner. I know it's an investment of time, but so is editing all those untranslates. Let us help you write as clean as you possibly can. Now let's look at the knob located on the right side of your machine. This knob controls the tension or firmness of the keys. When you turn the knob all the way toward you, the keys will be in the softest setting with less resistance. When you turn the knob away from you, you'll be increasing the firmness of the key. The best way to feel the change in tension is to turn the knob all the way toward you and press one key several times. Now turn the knob away from you and press the same key several times again. You should be able to feel the soft to firm difference when you do it this way. This knob is raising and lowering the tension bar, the grained felt bar located under the key levers in the back of the machine. You can look under the keys to see this bar. Under the vowels is a clear plastic tab. This is called the tension toggle, and it is used to turn on or off the tension bar. When this is turned on, the tension toggle locks the tension bar to the bottom of the machine and releases any tension or feedback. To turn it on, take your pointer finger and push the clear tab toward the back of the machine. To turn it off, pull it toward you. When the tension toggle is pushed to the back of the machine, the tension knob on the right-hand side is disabled. Located in the middle of your machine, right above your number bar, is the status LCD window. This window lets you know certain things about the status of your machine. A black dot in the lower right corner of the status LCD window indicates the Luminex is on. A row of running blocks in the top left corner indicates the battery is charging. If you plug in the Luminex to charge and only the black dot is displayed, this means your batteries are charged. One thing to note is the running blocks do not display while writing, but the Luminex will continue to charge. On each side of the status LCD window are 3 touch-sensitive sensors called function sensors. These are slight indentations above the number bar. They're where the buttons were located on the Diamante. The far left function sensor turns your Luminex on and off. One thing to note about the on and off feature is that the function sensor must be held down for a full 2 seconds and then released. The other function sensors will be more sensitive, but we don't want you to accidentally turn your machine on or off. The function sensor will correspond with the feature listed on the menu bar located along the bottom of the screen. For example, when you first turn on the machine, the function sensor on the far left would be off, and on the far left side of the screen, you would see the off menu option. In addition to the function sensors, you can also navigate through menus by pressing the menu options on the screen. For example, to go to the setup screen, press the setup menu option located to the right of the date and time. The title bar icons located along the top left side of the screen are also touch sensitive. This gives you access to common information and settings screens without needing to navigate through the writer menus. Touching the battery gauge icon on the far left opens the status information screen for your battery. Touching the SD card status icon opens the Files screen and shows you a listing of the jobs stored on the SD card. You can only view jobs when you're on a blank screen before you start writing or after closing a job. Touching the microphone icon opens the audio menu for adjusting your recording and playback settings. Touching the wireless icon opens the wireless screen. One thing to note about audio: if you're trying to turn on audio and you can't, that means you are in a job. You cannot turn audio on or off when you are in a job. The screen is a scroll screen. To scroll up in your text, place your finger on the top of the screen and swipe down. To scroll down in your text, place your finger at the bottom of the screen and swipe up. Remember, you must have enough writing on your screen to actually scroll up or down. You can also pinch to make the font smaller and zoom to make the font bigger. There are only 5 font sizes, so we are limited in how large or small the font can be. In this example, we are only sizing the English. The steno in this screen can't be sized this way. The screen will pivot 180 degrees so that you now can lay the screen back flat to slide your machine under the table in tight spaces. If you are relying on the audio in the machine, you might want to use the 6-foot audio extension cable that comes with the machine to place the microphone in the middle of the table when sliding your machine under a table. This will help to ensure the table doesn't impede the clarity of your recorded audio. The tilting tripod is one of the most popular additions to the Luminex family. Pull up the front of the machine while pushing down on the back. It's really tight, but don't worry, you won't break it. We want it to be tight so your machine doesn't shift around in the middle of a job, but it will be tighter the first few times you tilt the machine. And that concludes the training video on the exterior features on your Luminex II. I hope you found this information to be helpful. If you have any questions or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to contact me or technical support. We want you to love your new Luminex II, and we are here to help you write cleaner and with less fatigue.